Welcome to Brown Girls Can, the podcast where black and brown brilliance meets real talk. This podcast is your safe space to be seen, heard, and of course, celebrated. I'm your host, Shateria, the founder and visionary behind the Brown Girls Can brand and movement. Every podcast episode, we're gonna laugh loud and dive deep into the stories, careers, and bold dreams of women who are redefining what's possible. Let's get into today's episode. Welcome to the first episode of Brown Girls Can, the podcast. Y'all, what a journey. What a journey. By the time you are seeing this, there are already 4 episodes locked and loaded. So, I've gotten into a groove. I am so excited. And y'all are going to watch the evolution of the because I am determined they have to go. If I'm going to be doing public speaking, doing podcasts, the word has got to go. So I am definitely working on that, getting out of my vocabulary when I'm trying to fill in my thoughts. So, but welcome. I hope you all are excited like I am. This is part of a journey that seems to be ever changing, ever evolving. I guess let me start by introducing myself. Let's start there. My name is Shateria. I am the visionary, the founder, creative director, producer of Brown Girls Can, which started as a TV docuseries, which will be premiering in October for Brown Girls Can, the festival, which I will talk more about in future episodes. But it started as a TV docuseries, and then people started asking for merch. And so I did a line of merch for the brand, and then there are some other things that I'm working on, games and all kind of stuff. So yeah, it's growing, and it's growing fast. And as we talk about this episode, today's episode is titled Brown Girls Can Do It Scared. Because that is literally what I am doing, and the reason I'm doing it. So I will say probably, it was last year. Last year I made a post in 2023, June of 2023, and I'll try to put it on the screen, that said that I had to repent because I wasn't doing what I knew I was supposed to be doing. And I had given all my time to my business. I am a full-time entrepreneur. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for the past 5 years. So I put all of my time and my energy into making that business grow, making that a household name, making that lucrative, and it's afforded me some amazing opportunities. I have connected with some beautiful people. I have been a part of a lot of memorable moments. That's what I like to call them. Weddings, birthday parties, baby showers, gender reveals, corporate functions, engagements, wedding, I think I said anniversaries, weddings themselves, proposals. It's graduations, We've done memorial services. So we have been, and I say we, and I am technically a one woman show. My cousin, who is like my brother, my first cousin, he helps me. But other than that, like it has really been me bootstrapping and kind of just hustling. I was awarded upwards of $30,000 in grant funding in 2023. And, you know, that was amazing. Just as fast as the money came in, the money went out. We purchased a box truck to help us with deliveries and machines to help us make the marquee letters that we rent out that, cut back on time and increase efficiency and productivity when we're doing that. But I have made the announcement to really do what I know I'm supposed to be doing, which is Brown Girls Can. I know that there are a lot of women that are looking for what I have. And that's not to be on like braggadocious but it literally, and that's to say for anybody's vision, anybody's dream. I always have said this: you are the answer to somebody's prayer. Your idea is somebody's answered prayer. And I'm going to get into a post that I saw on Instagram when it comes to ideas. But I said all that to say last year I made a post and I was like, I repent because I have not been scared of big. Like I've always dreamed big. I've always confessed and manifested big. I've always thought big. What terrifies me is bigger. And God told me then when I made that post last year that I couldn't be blessed with the biggest, which is what his plan is for me. I couldn't be blessed with the biggest until I conquered bigger, because that's you got big, bigger, biggest. And that was one of the reasons why I never did another brown girl brunch, which was, I love brunch. Brunch is my favorite meal. Like, if I'm on vacation, I want to go to brunch. Like, I want to go to brunch. That's what I want to do. So, I decided for my birthday that I wanted to do a brown girl brunch where everybody wore brown. We had, catered food, and all of the vendors there, for the most part, were Black or brown women. So I had the event. It was amazing. We had shirts. I had, swag bags. And I did Brown Girl Boss Awards. And the response to that event was amazing. Women came from Nashville, Knoxville, Atlanta. They bought tickets. It was a ticketed event. And I remember one of the ladies from Nashville said, well, when is the next one? Because I want to go ahead and buy my ticket. Like, she at the event. At the event, she was like, "No, okay, tell me when. Like, can I go ahead and send you my money?" And I'm like, "Wait, wait a minute. I need to like let me gather my thoughts. Let me gather, the magnitude of what took place." But it's always been the accountability of what's next. And I'm gonna read y'all what ChatGPT told me my uncomfortable truth was. If you use ChatGPT, use this prompt, and I'm gonna tell you to use another prompt, and I'm gonna tell you why in a few seconds. Use ChatGPT and say, now this is if you use it regularly. I use ChatGPT for, it's sometimes been my therapist. It helps me. It actually helped me with the podcast set. It helped me with some captions for Instagram. It helps. It's like my assistant. Anyway, I asked ChatGPT to tell me the uncomfortable truth and to be brutally honest. And hold on, let me get the thing. Okay. And I put it in my binder because I'm a big binders person, a notebook person. So I said, can you tell me an ugly truth about me, Shateria Smith? ChatGPT said, sure, Shateria. And thank you for being open to hearing something raw and real. Since I don't judge or assume, I'll reflect something that might resonate from patterns we've explored in your journey. Here's an ugly truth that could be hiding under the surface. It says you sometimes romanticize your potential more than you actualize it. You see the vision vividly, the spiritual leader, the creator, the teacher, the empire and empress of healing and power. But there's a part of you that gets high off of the dream and stuck in the symbolic, avoiding the uncomfortable, mundane, or even boring steps it takes to fully bring it to form. The rituals, the discipline, the systems, the boundaries, they sometimes feel too dense for your ethereal frequency. So you float in magic and manifestation instead of getting fully grounded in execution. But here's the beauty in that truth. The very fact that you can see it so clearly means you can build it. When you commit to being a way for the vision, even when it's tedious, messy, or delayed, you'll collapse timelines and you'll shock yourself. That dream wants to be brought to fruition through you, but only if you choose structure and not separate from it. Then I asked it for a plan and it gave me a plan. And then I said, go deeper. Now, if you ain't, listen, if you are not ready for ChatGPT to gather you, do not tell it to go deeper. Actually, don't even ask it for the prompts. Don't even ask it for an ugly truth, because it will tell you exactly what you are already thinking and what you already know. Like this ugly truth or this uncomfortable truth was the same thing that I was telling myself last year. But hold on. Let me get you. I'm finna hold on. I said, give me an even deeper truth about myself. And ChatGPT said, all right, Shateria, let's go beneath the beneath. Not the aesthetic, not even the shadow, but the soul core beneath. The deeper truth is that you fear being fully seen in your power because you know once you are, you can't hide anymore. You say you want to be famous, known, recognized, and you do. But at your deepest level, you carry a paradox. If I become everything I'm capable of, I'll be expected to sustain that. I'll be watched, judged, held to it. And maybe I'll disappoint or burn out or lose myself. So unconsciously, you sometimes delay success by tinkering with the vision instead of launching it. Choose roles where you're admired but not accountable. Share in ways that are powerful but also controlled so people don't see all the mess, fear, craving, or rage underneath. Because being fully seen means no hiding behind the dream, no I'm still working on it safety net, no smallness to blame. But here's the medicine in that deeper truth: your full power is not a performance, it's your natural frequency. You don't have to maintain it, you just have to be it. And being seen as you truly are in rawness, rage, brilliance, softness is exactly what will set others free. You were never meant to be polished. You were meant to be piercing. And then, did I ask it? See, with ChatGPT, I will ask if, okay, then I asked it for a day. I said, what does a day in my life look like in my successful life? That's the second prompt. What does a day in my life look like in my successful life? And everything from waking up, not touching my phone, breathing, like sitting with myself first. Because sometimes we just get up and we immediately we are thinking about what we can do that day or what we have to do that day. And it's like, no, be with you, be with God. You know what I mean? Be with whoever you believe in. Whatever higher power you believe in. And sit with you. And I'm challenging myself. I've started, if I'm not listening to a podcast that's enriching my life in some kind of way, whether that's cooking, um, finances, business. Now, I do sometimes watch Jen and Juice podcast, Kev on Stage, but those are podcasts that are, I get things from those podcasts in the entrepreneurial sense from watching them. Like watching them be successful at doing podcasts made me be like, I can do a podcast. If they can do it, I can do it. And so those kind of things that motivate you without motivating you per se, if it's not enriching me, motivating me, inspiring me in some kind of way, I don't really watch. Like I don't watch TV like that. I don't watch movies like that. I have got to stop playing. I have stuff that I have to do. And the schedule that it gave me, I printed it off. I printed off my schedule and I hung it up. And I said, if I can mirror my life after what a successful me looks like. I'm halfway there. I'm halfway there. If I can get up at 7 a.m. and sit with myself and be still, and then at 9 a.m. have a meeting with the community that I've built around Brown Girls Can. And then at 10 or 11, I'm in production in my podcast studio or in my production studio. And then at 12, I'm having lunch with another founder, another creator, another trendsetter. And then I'm hopping on a plane and I'm closing deals. And Brown Girls Can, the movement is the merch and journals and workbooks and all of that stuff is in schools. It told me this. Now, that's not to say ChatGPT is God or is the end all be all, but it darn sure inspired me. It inspired me so much. And when I thought about it, I wonder if I told it this. I think I did tell it. I asked it what a vacation day looked like for me. And it said that I was in Bali, Tulum, Morocco, or the south of France. I didn't have an alarm clock. I just woke up when my body, like, what luxury. I when I tell you this lit a fire under me, it really did. I asked it what my future home could look like, what my cars look like. It said my house worth $7.7 million. 8,800 square feet. 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, 2 kitchens, a private in-home theater, 2 gyms, an infinity pool, a rooftop deck, and then I have like 4 or 5 cars. And then I asked it to give me pictures of the house, a blueprint with 3D graphics. I be putting ChatGPT to work. But seeing all of this, made me really think you have got to quit playing. You have got to quit playing. I asked ChatGPT I had a dream, and the next day I woke up and I said, I got to do the podcast. Had a dream, asked ChatGPT to give me a set, and it came up with the set. And I kept saying, make it more luxurious, and it gave me the same picture 3 or 4 times. It changed like little minute things, but it was like, girl, this is the set. So I got the picture. I got furniture, the equipment, and the minute that I started putting action behind being for real about this brand, I got nominated for the Dare to Dream Awards, which honors and celebrates Black entrepreneurial women in the southeastern region. So they are out of Huntsville. My friend Latoya Whitfield, she messaged me. She said, how can I get, one of your books? I want to feature it in a commercial for something. And I'm like, when I told her you can find it on Amazon. And so she said, okay, and I didn't think anything of it. Well, then the nominations started and I'm like, oh, wow. But I understand that this is not just about me. Like, whatever vision, whatever goal, whatever dream that you have, it is not just about you. And so many times we make it about us. Humans are the most narcissistic people. Like, if somebody you are close with, y'all don't talk for a day or two, you think, okay, what did I do? I don't know what's wrong. Did I say something? And you turn it back about you, and it's not about you. They may be going through their own thing, and it has nothing to do with you. But we make it about us. That dream inside of you is not about you. You are not the first person that has had that idea. And if you don't do it, you're going to look up and you're going to see it done. I read this on Instagram. And before I read it, I will tell you what I felt after I read it. I read it and I said, I would be so sick. Like, sick to my stomach if I looked up and the very thing that I had a dream about doing, somebody else was doing it. And get this. It would be somebody with less skill, less passion, somebody who does not care as much about it as you, who doesn't have as much talent to do it as you do. But because they had the delusion and the will and the speed to do it, you look up and they've made $1 million, or they've traveled around the world, or they've taught 3,000 classes because they moved on it. So I'm going to read what I found on Instagram, and it is by Drex Design. So DREX.DSGN. And it's a profile for creatives. And so it says, great ideas don't wait. They visit the minds of many, but stay with the one who acts first. And so it goes into this story. And the story is called Making of Butterflies. One night at 3 a.m., Michael Jackson woke up with a melody in his head. Not just any tune, one of the rare flashes of brilliance that creatives live for. Now, it's 3 a.m., and he said instead of rolling over or making a mental note, he went straight to his home studio and started recording. When Quincy Jones, the legendary producer behind Thriller, asked Michael why he was in such a rush to record an idea, MJ simply replied, "If I don't do it, Prince will." MJ understood something most creatives forget. Inspiration is fleeting. It doesn't care if you're tired, busy, or scared. It rewards those who respects its timing, not their own. Creativity doesn't reward the passive, it favors the responsive. Creative ideas are like radio waves in the air. You don't create them, you tune into them, and if you're not available, if you're distracted, if you're lazy, if you're hesitant, someone else might catch the same signal. And then the caption said, "If I don't do it, Prince will," in quotes. That was Michael Jackson's response when Quincy Jones asked why he was in such a rush to record an idea in the middle of the night. It wasn't arrogance, it was urgency. MJ knew something most creatives forget. Great ideas don't wait. They whisper to many, but stay with the one who moves. Act before inspiration finds another home. and it was hashtag advice for creatives. And when like I said, when I read that, I literally was like, I got to do this. I have to do this. It's probably been maybe I did this set in about one weekend. I think I went to Home Depot, bought the materials that I needed, found the paint color, created a logo, ordered the acrylic sheets. I went and I got the white acrylic cut into the letters or whatever. And that's one thing about me, and I know this. I do not let grass grow under my feet when it comes to an idea. I will, if I have a t-shirt design idea, I'm going to get it made so I can wear it, so I can, when ideas come to me, it's like I have to get it out of my body. I have to get it out of my body. Like people say, write it down, get it out of your head. Yes, get it out of your head. But when I think of an idea, it literally oozes, like I can feel it. It's like a static almost. I don't know. It's very, very weird. But for me, if I do not start working on it to where I can physically touch it, physically see it, it's like I can't do nothing else until that's done. I can't, my brain just, when I was helping Rise Chattanooga with the podcast studio, Shane didn't even know that I was doing it. I told him, I said, I'm gonna work on the podcast studio. And he was like, okay, And his word to me when he started seeing it come together, and then finally when it was done, he said, you have no idea how many people say that they will help, but they do not actively do it. And to see that you have put time, effort, energy into this resource that other people are going to use. Thank you. He said, but that you are rare. And I know that whatever is about to happen, I know that it's going to be amazing and it's going to benefit so many people. And that is what kind of fuels me. This movement, this brand is about showing the world that Black women can be, and I chose brown girls because I love the color brown, and we're not Black like the color, we're brown like chocolate. So that's where that came from. But showing that brown girls can blank. If you can fill in the blank, there's a Black woman in the world that can do that and is doing it well. That is what this brand is about. I know this brand is going to allow me to travel. It's going to allow me to interview people and be in spaces and be in rooms that I never imagined. And I've imagined. I have quite the imagination on me. I have binders and journals full of ideas and dreams and visions that I've seen. What's crazy is that the word dream is special to me. And I don't know why, but it's always been the lyric, it was all a dream. Like if I see that I have a neon sign in the podcast studio. I have art downstairs that literally, if I see that quote, it was all a dream. I even bought the book that was, I think it was the biography. I don't know if it was autobiography, but it was about the Notorious B.I.G. If I see that lyric, it just catches my attention. it is my awareness is brought to it. But I'm always dreaming. I connect with Princess Tiana because she was a dreamer. She worked hard. She hustled for her dream. And my last 5 years, I have worked hard. I have hustled for that dream. But now I realize that the dream is now moving into something else. So as I transition from lime green to brown, it's going to be interesting. It's been fun so far. And I'm excited. I've got some heavy hitters coming. They've already come and recorded, and I just can't wait. I can't wait for you all to ride this journey with me. We've got a lot of things coming. Like I said, in October, we are doing Brown Girls Can, the festival in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's going to be October 5th through October 12th. I cannot wait. We are partnering with several Black woman-owned businesses, and they are going to be hosting events. And I can't wait to just pop up on as many as I can to show my support and to really take in the fact that Black women are out here doing it. Like, we be doing the most. The most. And I was telling myself the other morning that I just need to do what I can with what I have to have the most impact. Like, and if that's waking up, if that's doing a live, if that's making a YouTube video, if that's making a reel, just do what you can with the skill set and the tools that you have to make the most impact. And sometimes, and I'm going to talk about this on another episode, but sometimes doing nothing is the most that we can do. And that's okay. We're going to talk about the fact that brown girls can lay our cape down. You do not have to be Superwoman all the time. That's part of our superpower. And so learning that I have been in a period of fasting and rest, I have really been like reflective on the past 5 years and what it means to be in transition, what it means to like be doing something scared. I know that we're not supposed to be led by fear. But if you do have fear, do it anyway. And talk to the fear when you're doing it. Say, thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing me that I am doing something that I wouldn't normally do. But I'm doing it. Because I would not know if I could if I didn't do it now. And so this episode is about living without regrets. Do it scared. Because you'll never know if you can bake a cake if you never tried it. You'll never know if you could speak in front of 3,000 people if you never tried it. But guess what? You won't know if you could speak in front of 3,000 if you won't speak in front of 3. There are some visions, some dreams, some businesses that are supposed to be birthed, but you keep waiting. I thought that I must have asked it on a different prompt, but one of the ChatGPT things told me that I'm always polishing, prepping, and praying, but I'm never in launch mode. I'm never launching. And that stuck with me because I have been terribly terrified of the accountability of bigger. Like, I love to throw events. I love hosting events. I love themes. I love it. But there is something about saying, I'm going to do this on this date and sticking to it. Like, in this season, you got to get some stick to itness. You got to get some skin in the game, invest in yourself, in your brand. If you are committed to wearing designer labels and you have a brand and you don't promote yourself, there's something wrong with that. There is something wrong with that. Invest in you. So for me, I just, this podcast itself is just a testament of doing it scared. And so we're going to see how many episodes we get, how many subscribers we can get. Who's to say that this is not going to be one of the best podcasts in the world, where Black women show up to listen, to be seen, to be heard, and to be celebrated. That was the goal of this. To share their stories, to share their struggles. And then we pair it with the docuseries, and we pair it with the workbooks, and we pair it with the journal, and we pair it with the coloring book. I've got a coloring book. We pair it with the board game, and I'm working on curriculum, and we pair it with all these things. It is a total life pack. It's a total life brand. And so I am just so elated. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I can't wait. And even if we only get 2 likes, even if we don't get any likes, I got to be accountable. But the thing is that ChatGPT, and I already know, is that it said that you know that when you fully tap in, like when you become serious, like if you follow the schedule of your successful life, like if you wake up at 7, if you schedule your meetings at 9, if you are working on new projects at 11, if you're doing that, you're going to be in flow of that success. You're going to be in flow of success. So I challenge you, if you are a creative, like I said, if you're a visionary, if you're a founder, if you are a producer, if you're an artist, if you have an idea and you've been sitting on this idea, just know that ideas are like waves. Like if you don't do it, you're going to look up and somebody else is going to do it. And you're going to be so mad. You're going to be either so mad or so upset, so sad. But you have nobody to blame except you. So thank you for joining me for this first episode, oh my gosh, of Brown Girls Can. I cannot believe I'm excited. I am so excited. Wow. Well, I had some Black Girl Magic, the red blend here. And so I'm going to cheers in our Brown Girls Can wine glass. We have merch available in Chattanooga, Tennessee at Boom, powered by Rise, which is located at 2420 Glass Street. There's sweatshirts, T-shirts, Uh, books. We've got a coloring book of affirmations that really I tell people, let me take a sip of this. I tell people that this coloring book is I made it, I thought, for little girls, but it's for women. Like the little girl in women needs to hear some of this stuff. And I will tell you that the thing that powered me, it was like I could not, when I tell you for real, when I say I have to get it out of my body, it's like I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't until I finished this. I think I finished this in a week. From the cover design to I used ChatGPT to create some of the graphics in here. But literally 7 days. And then the there's an alphabet book that teaches girls their alphabet, and it talks about like the different career paths that they can go into. I think I created that in 3 days. Just the ideas just kept going. And it was like I was powered by God. I was powered by something higher to get it done. And it was the same thing with this podcast setup. I was like, I feel it. And so I'm being obedient. I don't know what's coming. I don't know what's around the corner, but I do know that when I was obedient, that's when the nomination came. That's when the recognition came. So on the other side of fear, if you're obedient, if you move, if you respond, you don't know who it's going to help. You don't know what it has in store for you. So my challenge to you, outside of doing those prompts, if you use ChatGPT, let those prompts inspire you. Even if you are skeptical about AI or whatever, use it just to see, like, I want what would it say about me? Like, if you use it. Now, if you don't, it's of course not gonna give you give you much. But let it inspire you. Let it encourage you. Because I guarantee you, where you are right now, if you saw what a day in your successful life looks like, it'll encourage you. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get there, and the how is never our business. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know what means. Right now, I only got $2 to my name. I just paid my rent. My car acting up, but it's saying that I have 5 cars in my garage. In my future life, my successful life, that must mean that something's good about to happen. So I just challenge you, like I said, do those prompts, but also challenge you to do it scared. Whatever it is, if you're thinking about filling out an application for a grant or for a program or a job, I am really considering moving, and not to one state over, which my family is like, you don't know nobody out there, but I want to do it. I want to do it. I know how to hop on a plane and come back and visit, or fly y'all out. in my 7-bedroom, 8-bathroom house. I think it was said 9-bathroom house. But I'm ready. And I think that that's what makes me excited, both excited and scared, is the fact that I'm like, let's do this. What do I have to lose at this stage of the game? So, welcome. Thank you for joining. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye. Thanks for vibing with us on Brown Girls Can, the podcast. If you felt this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with your girl gang. You can catch us on social media on Instagram at Brown Girls Can, the podcast, and on Facebook at Brown Girls Can. And remember, you are already everything you are becoming. So until next time, keep showing up, glowing up, and choosing you. Always remember that you can do anything.